I asked GPT to write a sequel to my novel, Oregonia and the Legend of the Myce, and it actually went worse than you might expect. I'll have to take some of the blame for this, though. It's really important that I tell you what my novel is about, so you have context for this wild ride we're about to go on. Oregonia and the Legend of the Myce is about these mythical creatures called Myce, which are these mice-like, anthropomorphic critters that live in a post-apocalyptic world set in Oregon, which they call Oregonia. They are the heroes of this story, which is important for me to mention. You'll see why in a bit. It's also important that I mention that Oregonia is a place, not a person. You'll understand momentarily. In this story, these little critters go on an adventure to stop an ancient darkness that hasn't been seen since the fall of mankind. That's about all you really need to know for now. I have not read this whole story. I've only read the first paragraph. If I need to explain some inconsistencies or plot holes, I'll get into it. Now, with proper context, let's get into this story. Part of the problem was my prompt. I wrote, create a sequel to Oregonia and the Legend of the Myce, which led to some problems. I assumed that ChatGPT would have context for my novel. I thought it would just pull information off the internet from Amazon or Wattpad or Kickstarter, but I don't think it pulled any context. So with little to no context, this is what ChatGPT wrote for the sequel of Oregonia and the Legend of the Myce. Title, Oregonia, Quest for the Enchanted Spores. Which is, I kind of like the title. It's fun. I don't think I ever would have thought of that. Right off the bat, it kind of gives me some enchanted forest vibes, which is kind of what my book is about. I find the forests and nature of Oregon pretty enchanting. In the enchanted realm of Oregonia, a year has passed since the brave young adventurer, Oregonia. Okay, so we're already at a problem here. It got the fact that Oregonia is a realm, it's a place, but now Oregonia is also a person. So, off to a great start. And her loyal companions defeated the malevolent Myce and saved the kingdom from darkness. Okay, so ChatGPT assumed the Myce were the bad guys, which is hilarious. Do these little critters look like bad guys to you? This one does. Is a bad dude. Peace has returned to the land, and Oregonia has settled into her role as a respected protector of the realm. However, her tranquil life is about to be disturbed by a new threat that looms over Oregonia and her friends. Okay, so as you can tell, it's basically a completely different story. The Legend of the Myce spoke of a long-lost artifact known as the Enchanted Spores. Spores are usually a cluster of what the hell are spores? A minute, typically one-celled. Wait, minute? Does it mean minute?
Minute.
Ah, I guess the spelling for minute and minute are the same. Interesting. A minute, typically one-celled reproductive unit capable of giving rise to a new individual without sexual fusion, characteristic of lower plants, fungi, and protozoans. Yeah, these usually come in a cluster. It's weird that the spores are seemingly a single artifact, which possessed the power to restore life and vitality to the land. Oh, say hi, Luna. Oh, don't attack it. Don't do it. Do you need something? Do you want to lay over here on the table? No? You're gonna leave? Bye-bye. Bye, Luna. The spores were rumored to be hidden deep within the mysterious Forest of Whispers, a treacherous and enchanted woodland that few had ventured into and returned. As the forest's magic starts to wane, causing plants to wither and creatures to weaken, Oregonia realizes that the only hope for Oregonia's realm lies in finding the enchanted spores and reviving the forest's magic. That's kind of interesting. In my novel, magic is also waning. Very, very few people are proficient in magic. Just a handful of wizards. And a few others with latent magical abilities. Well, in my world, actually, it's called Mygic. Mygic. Gathering her trusted allies, including the mysterious fairy Nymphy and the wise old wizard Eldor, Oregonia embarks on a perilous journey into the heart of the Forest of Whispers. Those are some good names. I like those names. I tend to use a lot of just regular ass names in my book. There's Eli, Pete, Mila, Chris, and Stephanie. That's because certain aspects of their culture were adapted from human culture, including a lot of naming conventions. Along the way, they encounter new allies, such as Spriggle, the talking squirrel. That's kind of accurate to my novel. There's lots of talking critters. Most animals talk in Oregonia. And Aurelia, a mysterious guardian of nature. They also face formidable challenges, from magical creatures guarding the spores to treacherous paths that twist and shift. As Oregonia and her companions delve deeper into the forest, they uncover forgotten legends and encounter ancient guardians who test their mettle. Along the way, Oregonia discovers the true nature of her own magical abilities, unlocking hidden powers that aid her in her quest. The journey becomes not only about finding the enchanted spores, but also about Oregonia's personal growth and acceptance of her destiny as a legendary hero. This is a decent summary for its own story. Not a good summary of my story at all. But as they get closer to the spores, a new threat emerges. A group of power-hungry sorcerers known as the Shadow Circle, who seek to possess the enchanted spores for their own nefarious purposes. That's interesting. In the sequel to, well, the actual sequel I'm working on for my novel, magic does come back to the world, and there is going to be a group of evil sorcerers. I find that interesting. Oregonia must confront her greatest fears and make difficult choices to protect the enchanted spores and prevent the Shadow Circle from unleashing chaos upon the realm. Oregonia, Quest for the Enchanted Spores, is an epic tale of adventure, self-discovery, and the power of friendship. Hey, that's true to my book. A lot of it has to do with the power of friendship, but another important aspect is the power of forgiveness. And another thing I noticed after I finished the novel and as I was working on later drafts, Oregonia also encapsulates the theme of bearing the heavy responsibilities of the previous generation. If you guys have any questions about my novel, its themes and meanings, characters, the story in general, let me know in the comments below. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I super duper appreciate it. And it would mean a lot if you would consider liking the video and subscribing and sharing it with every single person you know. That would be great. It explores the enduring bonds forged in the face of adversity and the importance of preserving the balance between magic and nature. Will Oregonia and her companions succeed in their quest and save Oregonia's realm once again? The fate of the enchanted land hangs in the balance as they face their greatest challenge yet. Not a bad summary for this book. Terrible summary for a sequel to my book. I put it in a simple prompt and it did the best it could, and it strangely did okay. It kind of guessed some things correctly simply because the name of my novel comes off very whimsical and enchanting, so it came up with a whimsical, enchanting story. I am curious to know what would happen if I put the entirety of my book into ChatGPT, but I think that's a video for another time. Thanks for watching, guys. I super duper appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. We are so close to getting monetized. I have emotes, I have membership badges, I got all this stuff waiting for you guys the moment we become monetized. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.